The Golden State Warriors lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves 131-30 to 131-130. And the question I know is going to be on everyone's mind going forward and everything like that is, has the officiating turned against the Golden State Warriors? You guys remember earlier this year and even last year, during the season, the Warriors were like really fed up with the officiating. They were really upset. But this game in particular, you could see three instances where the officials essentially called the game the wrong way. One was when Stephen Curry went up for a three-pointer. This is the three-pointer that got it to 127 to 130. He got tripped on his way down, and basically there was no call. He still made the three, but according to the rule book, officials have to allow players space to land. And Curry wasn't allowed that space to land. He was tripped, no call. He still made the three, whatever, play on. Then there was another play with Kevin Durant. I believe it was like 5.8 seconds in overtime or so. He pulls up for a three. The guy hits him in the chest, touches him with two hands. KD never put the ball down. He shoots it, he makes it. It's supposed to be a 4-point play. The officials say they called it on the ground or whatever the case is. So that's another play. Then you have the final play of the game, which essentially called the game. The Minnesota Timberwolves inbounded the ball. They tried to throw it off to Karl-Anthony Towns underneath the rim, and they said that Kevin Durant touched Karl-Anthony Towns or pushed him in the back for a ball that wasn't. Karl-Anthony Towns was not going to catch that ball. So it doesn't make sense for them to call for a ball that's uncatchable. Like, if the ball's catchable, I could see them saying, okay, like he was getting ready to catch the ball. It was right there, but the ball went way over the rim, even the backboard, sort of. So those are three instances where we see that the referees essentially turned their back on the Warriors. And there's been like a lot of games like that where the Warriors have always been complaining about officiating. But they just have to understand that the reason why the officiating is the way that it is because the Warriors are so good. Many people, including officials, feel that they stack the deck where it's an unlevel playing field. So the officials feel like, we're not going to give you the benefit of the doubt of the whistle because you're supposed to be so good. At the end of the day, the Golden State Warriors have to be so good that they're undeniable. They have forgotten that fact, and they're operating on the mindset that we're part of one of the 30 teams in the NBA. We deserve the same whistles as everybody else. We have the same schedule as everybody else. We're a team that deserves calls like everybody else. But other teams don't see it that way. Now we can see that officiating doesn't see it that way. Even GMs don't see it that way. Everybody looks at the Warriors as a super team, a super team. Like, they need to have something that goes against them. Whether it's officiating, whether it's they're struggling against a certain team or they have a harder schedule. There is an underlying feeling that the Warriors should have some kind of adversity, because the way that the teams and officials look at the Warriors is like they have no adversity. That's why when there's these plays, three in succession, basically three in succession, like I said, they don't even get the benefit of the doubt because it's just like, no, you guys are too good. We're not gonna assist you, because the officials feel like if they give the Warriors these calls, they're helping them, and they don't want to look like they're colluding for the Warriors to win another championship. But at the end of the day, the Warriors are looking at it like, look, we deserve the whistle just like anybody else. You need to call the game the same way you would call like anybody else. But the officials are saying to the Warriors, you're not just anybody else. You're the Warriors. You have 5 All-Stars. You're one of the greatest teams to ever lace them up. So that's why the Warriors aren't getting the whistle. And another problem is arrogance when it comes to the Warriors. You know how LeBron gets a lot of criticism for his relationship with coaches? Well, the Warriors are essentially getting a lot of criticism with the officials. And I know this is being said behind closed doors, where the officials are saying, like, Kevin Durant to Steph Curry, these guys, or Klay Thompson, these guys want me to call a whole bunch of calls for them. But, at the end of the day, you just need to respect me as a referee. So you're not going to respect me as a referee. I'll show you. I'm going to start calling things the way I see fit, not the way that they're set in the rule book. The officials do miss calls, but they know when they miss calls. The thing about the Warriors, though, they pointed out and they show a lot of arrogance. Like when Stephen Curry hit the three to tie at 130-130, he pointed at the referee, and Andre Iguodala was pointing at the referee like, ha, 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 ha. Like, yeah, you messed up the call with KD, but guess what? We got it right back. That was a big mistake. If they never did that, the next play with Cat, the referees would have never called it. That was essentially a revenge moment, a teachable moment. You did this to me, a tit for tat moment with the officials between the Warriors. They were saying like, you embarrassed me because I missed the call. I'm gonna embarrass you and make you lose this game. And that's all it boiled down to. It was a tit for tat situation, and it boiled down to like a lot of arrogance. Some of this also can do with sports betting. Maybe somebody has something online that could be something that's a plausible angle you want to work. Not something that's that serious because that last official, I think it was Tom Donahue, so he exposed that whole thing. So the NBA is under a lot of scrutiny for any kind of collusion with anything. But essentially, going forward, the Warriors are gonna have to deal with this type of officiating in the playoffs. Now that could be their Achilles heel. If they're in a dogfight of a series with any team, and they expect the officials to give them the benefit of the doubt or benefit of the whistle, that could go against them highly. So they need to stop relying on the officials. Don't even think that anybody's going to give you any calls or anything like that, because to them, you're too good. You're not just any other team. You're not to be respected like any other team. They look at you like, I guess, a super talented pariah. Like, we're not going to just let you do whatever you want. Officials are trying to keep the Warriors in check, essentially. The NBA is trying to keep the Warriors in check. And when they see that these guys are dancing on the court or shimmying or showing up the refs, it's like an automatic, it's a natural reaction for the referees to go against the Warriors, essentially. So that's just the bottom line of everything. I don't think they should talk about it anymore. I think they should approach the rest of the season and the playoffs as the referees are not their friend, and for them to not even approach the referees about calls or anything. Just let Steve Kerr do it. They need to stay in their lane because they're going to let the officials really screw up their chances to go for a three-peat. Hoops Junction, where hoops meets hoopla. Like, comment, and subscribe.